Your late husband, Michael Piller, was exec producer of Star Trek The Next Generation and is very much credited with changing the course of that show. And depending on who you talk to, believe that he may very well have saved it and came along in season 3 and really turned the show around. What was that like from your chair?
We'd been watching the first and second season and we were fans. We didn't think there was really anything wrong, but we didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. Michael had been a showrunner for Simon and Simon and a few other shows, and he was called by Maurice Hurley to do a rewrite on a script, which his agent said, "No, don't do that. You're going backwards in career." But Michael felt he knew those characters and he decided to do it anyway. The rewrite was on a script called Evolution with the nanites and Will Crusher and the scientist who was waiting for this big thing to happen after every 200 years. And they loved it. They said, well, it's the only thing we've got to shoot in development. And a few weeks later, they called and Maurice had left the show and they asked if he would like to be the showrunner. And he said, well, I don't really know science fiction and space and all that. They said, don't worry about it. We want you for the human stories. So he gave it a shot. And it turns out, I think the opening of the third season was with that nanite script. He had writers that didn't know how to stay within the Roddenberry parameters they call the Roddenberry box.
The Roddenberry box is what Michael Piller had referred to as the challenges for writers, because Roddenberry felt like in the future, we won't have conflict between the characters on the Enterprise. That'll come from outside. And as well, that's easier said than done. And I know that my understanding of it is that drove writers crazy. It's like, you have to have conflict for drama.
Right, and actually, when he ran up against it the first time, all the writers on staff were laughing at him because finally he got what they were worried about and having such problems with. When Ron Moore came into view with his script, The Bonding, that was the one that Michael had gone to Gene about because the little boy whose mother had been killed by the aliens
Mm,
had to grieve.
right.
The aliens were the ones who felt so awful about it. They created a substitute mom for the boy, and so the boy was torn in a couple directions. Well, Michael was able to figure that out, and Gene said, "Okay, well, once it's the grieving is coming from the aliens, that's fine. Go ahead."
That also speaks to his discovery of Ron Moore, who came in. That was his like spec script, I think. And then
Right.
Michael brought him in onto the team of staff writers, and Ron was also a game changer for the show. I think that he and Michael saw the human stories that you could really build upon.
Exactly. Yeah. Um, yeah, that was when Michael got Paramount to let him have fans or anybody submit scripts as long as they were full scripts. And that's how he found Ron was either going to go in the Navy or get this script picked up. And sure enough, he joined Star Trek. Yeah.
The right things and people came together for that, and in no small part to Michael's being able to see that talent and bring it in and build the team.